everyone, my name's Larry, aka Semi-Dad. Welcome back to the channel, welcome back to Derail Valley. Hope you're all well, hope you're enjoying the series so far, hope you've had a great week, whatever you've been up to. This is episode 3. We are still down in Harbour and Town, and we're just outside the station office. What I'd wanted to do on this episode was to show you how, or to sort of run through how you could like maximize shunting jobs by being able to load a shunting job, then haul it, and then sort of unload and shunt it at the other end. Unfortunately, all of the shunting jobs were outside of our licensing requirements at the moment, which is fine. So I was looking through some of the other jobs, and then this job came up here, which is a freight haul to Iron Ore Mine East. And it's paying, as you can see there, a whopping $55,000. We've got all the licenses to be able to run it. There's a slight problem that it's slightly outside the train mass for the DE2 that we're running. So I've got a solution to that. And then I saw another job which is kind of on the way. Pays a little bit less, but I thought it might be interested to do 2 jobs nonetheless anyway. And that doesn't weigh as much. So what we're going to do is we're going to try and run this ourselves as a dual drop-off. Now, we are here, down here in Harbour and Town, and the 2 jobs I'm looking at, one goes up to here, which is GF, and then the other one goes up to here, which is IME, Iron Ore Mine East. Now, what I'm thinking is we'll come out of the easterly side of Harbour and Town. We'll go up around this way. We'll drop to Goods Factory first, and then we'll go on that to Iron Ore Mine East. Now, one thing to note, it's not going to be that easy because we're going to come in to Goods Factory here, and then there's no way out. So what we're going to have to do is we're going to have to come into Goods Factory, drop, and then reverse back down this line to then go back up past it, if that doesn't make any sense. But that's what we're doing. So it may well not come off and be a shambles, but in any case, we do need to get a license. So we need to clear our fees first. We've got 2,000 to pay on our fees. Confirm. So all our fees are paid. Now, because we're going to be running slightly outside of our limit on the weight, what we ideally need is the multiple unit license, which is 30,000. Now, bring my wallet up, we don't have enough for that. But we also, even if we did have enough, which we would have done if we didn't have to pay fees, we wouldn't have had enough, because if I print that out for you, you see there at the bottom, prerequisites, you need to have Concurrent 1 license, which is an additional, just have a look, just drop that in there a sec. No, I said in there. Thank you. Concurrent orders 1 there, look, is 10,000. So we are going to get Concurrent orders 1 right now. That is going to put our copay up by 4,000. It's going to take our time bonus down by 2%, but that's fine. So we're going to buy that license now, because we'll need that. So we've got that, which means we can now do 2 orders at the same time. We don't need to do this, but we will do it. We'll chuck this on our shelf of licenses. And there's one other license which I think we probably want to get, is, since we've cleared our fees, is the dispatcher license. Now, the dispatcher license, what that does is it doesn't add anything to the copay. It does take 2% off the time bonus. There's no prerequisites, but basically it allows you to operate remote switches using the maps instead of having to remember to switch them on the thing. So that's a really handy license to have. And as we've got a little bit of cash, that's the wrong button. It makes sense that we might as well buy that now as well. So I'm going to buy that. So that's the dispatcher license as well. We're going to run that through. That's that one. So those are our licenses we've got now. One other little thing that I wanted to sort of bring up. Where's it gone here? So most places have got shops, which is denoted by the blue dot on by the location on the map. So like Harbour and Town has got one, Goods Factory's got one, FF at the top's got one, MF there's got one, City West has got one. So that's the shop. Now there is in this place a shop which is just, I believe from memory, it's just down here. There it is. So the shops are always these little blue buildings. Now the reason I wanted to find the shop was because there was an item that I wanted to purchase, a somewhat expensive item, which was a, let me just double check because it was 3 items actually that I wanted to get. So how the shop works is you pick your scanner up. First item is pocket watch. See, that's added it on there. And then the next item is a lighter. And then the final item that I wanted to grab was the lantern. And then you see there, that's put it onto the tilt. So you grab your wallet out, click confirm, put your wallet on there, and then click confirm. Get a receipt, but that's not anything, and then it all falls out here. So we want to stick that in our inventory. Same with the lighter and the pocket watch. We want to keep that. So they weren't entirely like necessary purchases right now, but they will come in handy. And then just one other thing I wanted to show you, if I can remember where I saw it. So basically the locomotives that we're using at the moment, they belong to the game. So the way that you sort of own, quote unquote, own your own locomotive in the game is you find these museum locomotives which you have to restore. And as I was wandering around between episodes, I happened to find the museum S282 steam train. Now you do need the museum license to do it, and you also need the relevant license for that train. So for example, we need the S282 license to be able to re-rail this and drag it back to the museum, which we'll come on to in a later episode. But I wanted to show you that so you guys will remember that, because I will surely forget it. But if in a later episode I'm asking you where the S282 steam train museum piece is, it's down here at Harbour and Town. But there's one last thing to cover, and that is here. So this is our locomotive that we've been using. We found this DE2. Now the issue we've got is obviously we can't buy the multiple unit license. So on the back of the locomotives here, we've got the hook, the chain hook, which goes on to there. You've got your brake line, which hooks up the brakes, and then you need the multiple unit license to connect this blue cable, which then makes it so that you are operating the both locomotives from the one locomotive. We don't have enough to get that right now, so what we're going to do is, this might be somewhat outside of our skill level right now, But what we're going to do is we're going to run both locomotives anyway. And it just means we're going to have to hop back and forward between so what we're going to do is we're going to hook up our chain. We're going to hook this up. I'm going to hook this up. Get the brakes off. And then that's all we're going to do here. And then we're going to hop into here for now. We're going to take the brake off. We're going to leave the brake cutout on. And then for now, we're just going to... Yeah, that's fine. So what that's going to do is it's just going to give us a little bit of extra push when we need it on the hills and stuff. So first things we're going to do is we're going to go and get our orders prepped. So we want to load these on to the order that we're going to drop them. So we want the last drop to be closest to the locomotive, which is going to be this one. So we're going to head over to E10, which is the output yard. So what we can do now that we've got the dispatcher license, so we are, I believe, here. I believe that we are, let me just think, I believe that we are here. I think this is us. So what we want to do is we want to come out of here. We want to come down, we'll reverse back and then go forward straight through E, reverse back into our siding, pull out, reverse, and then back into the next siding, and then we'll validate the jobs. So we will... just think that doesn't really matter because you're coming into it from here. So let's get going. Let me just have a look at this. So I think, like I said, I think we've just come out of there, and we've just come out of there. So we want to... That's right, I think. Because watch that one change now. Yeah, so we want to go back up there. That's right. So yeah, that's what the dispatcher license does. Is it changes it so that you can sort of change on the fly. Just back up a little bit. So I'm hoping that once we've done this job, then we want to get past that one. Now the thing is, this will probably switch when we drive over it, so we'll have to make sure that we switch it again. Yeah, we can do it this way. We just watch that one now. I think it's this one. So that one, and then on that one, and then what we can do then is you can flip down to the E yard. We're going to be coming in. And we're going to be wanting to go left, and then left and then left to go straight through. So that should, in theory, now be us set up. We will take it slow. As you can see, the day is breaking. It is highly likely this may well be a reasonably long episode, so we may end up splitting it. Into 2 parts. So that's going to the right, that's going to the left. So that should see us straight through the centre siding. So I forgot we're going the right way, so that's fine. And then we want to be, have a look at our job again. So this is the one we want first, which is E10O. So we'll just keep on crawling through. Generally okay moving around the yards at around anything up to 30. You don't want to go really any more than that. Get past all of these and then we'll work out where we're collecting. So we want to get past this last one here. Put the trailer brake on a sec. Parking brake, sorry. So we want to just check our siding numbers. That's 8I. So yeah, we want this one here. So we'll back down in to get this one. Pull out and then we'll back down into this siding to get that one. And then we'll get the job in. So since we're out, we'll change that one. I'll bring us off down here. Keep left. Keep left. And then keep left. And then right. Should see us fine. Just stick the reverser. Must remember our so we will take off that. There we go. We are picking up some morning mist here. So yeah, like I said, this is not ideal. Obviously, we'd have the MU license, but it is perfectly acceptable to do so. It's just a little bit more work. You know, we may well find as we're getting into it that it's a lot of hassle and not worth doing it. But we're going to get paid pretty damn well off the job. So, you know, in reality, it's really not. It might well be just one job. Hopefully, we can give it a little gentle nudge. Yeah, you really want to be hitting the next carriage sort of about 5 miles per hour or so. That's us. So we'll get under here. So which one is the one? It's the one on the back, obviously. So yeah, now we want to pull forward and back up into this one. Naturally, I think it's this one. Swap it so it's not that much of a hassle. Alrighty. Obviously, when we get the MU license, it'll be much better because we won't have to worry about 2 lots of controls. But in theory, as long as we don't get any rain, these two locos together should be able to handle this. So we just want to think we should be. So what we can do is get our little book open. We want to change this one to the left. And we should, because we've already set those, we can put that down. Take all the brake off. Just come back here and just double check that it's going to go where we want it to go. It should go off down into that side in there, which is E11O. Not forgetting that O is for output. out, there is a like a remote control that you can buy. Because ideally now you could stand back here with the remote control and wait for it to get within range. So a bit further to go. A bit further to go, sir. Like I said, as long as you do no more than about 5 or so miles per hour, you should be good. Alright, there we are. We are all hooked up. So what we'll do is we'll just do a quick check of what we've got so far. So we've got these carts going to... What we'll do actually is we'll nip down to the station house, which is... Oh, I just blasted straight past it. Yep. Right, what we're going to do is we're going to hand in the first drop first. That's 83 minutes. And we've got 131 for that one. Okay, so we're all handed in. We're on our jobs now. So what we can do now is... This is our first job. So we are up to CFO 20. We're FH99 up to CBX 248, which is there. And if we have a look at the other job, it's 383 up to 216. So that's us. These are us. Chuck that away for now. So we want to take that off, take that off. We're all good, no warning lights. Minor wheel slip there just on the off, but we're all good. But like, what I might do is get this one pushing us along a little bit. Like I said, this might be like completely outside of my capabilities at the moment, but you know, we're in here now. Because as long as we don't get any rain, we should be okay. Because the tonnage capability of the D2 drops dramatically So we want to have a little quick look on the map. We haven't got any switches coming up just immediately. But what we can do is we want that one to go that way. And we want that one to go that way. We want that to go that way round, I think. Just need to keep an eye on this second loco because the DE2's got air cooling, a big vent there, and with it being on the back, it can't take the air in as efficiently. We must be on somewhat of an incline here. I mean, realistically speaking, this is probably absurd to be doing this, because if you have a look at our consist, it's huge. We're pulling that with 2 DE2s, which is not really what it's designed to do, which is why we're going so slow. Just want to watch our temperatures there, because we are chugging. I think this is probably going to be a very slow ride. So yeah, that beep is it's just a little bit of wheel spin. Basically, the tractor motors are going too fast to be able to catch it. And then what you normally do if you get a lot of wheel slip, you chuck down the sander. Yeah, we're creeping along very, very slowly. Can't imagine that we're going to get the time bonus, if I'm being completely honest. It's because of this consist that we've got. Maybe should have thought about bringing a 3rd locomotive. We can chuck some more power in. I mean that indicates how slow we're going, and we're on a 70 kilometer per hour speed limit. We're only doing 15. Can't a little more speed. Obviously this hopefully won't be too bad all the way, because we will be dropping half this consist off along the way, so we probably will split this into 2 episodes, because there's already been 40 odd minutes on this episode. I'd like to be able to get to the goods factory and drop this first one off. Goods factory in town, so it's going into D6I. So we won't even worry about that at the minute. We are about to get into the km/h region. We are quite tight in here. That's fine. So we can put the lights on for better effect. Check the temps on here. By doing this, we will be wear and tearing two locos, but it doesn't matter per se because it's all covered under the copay. So we are at, I think, we're on a plus 1.6 gradient. So we're going to have to back off a little bit. See that red light there means the traction motors are getting up to temperature. Let me just check the other one. Okay there, so maybe we can come up there. Yellow, I think, is fine. Red is danger. Obviously, you see here on the why it's struggling so much. So on a 0% gradient, so around the yards and stuff, these are capable of, in theory, pulling 1,200 tons. Up a 2% gradient, which we're not far off, they go down to 300 tons each. So in theory, we've got about 600 tons comfortably, but you know, don't think it's particularly comfortable. I think we're on a slight decline now because we are picking up a little bit of speed. Let's just check. We're doing okay here. Yeah, it's pretty much all about maintaining your temps. So we are 70 km/h, coming up to a plus 1.9 gradient, so that's going to be a pretty slow slog. As you can see, the speed is dropping off and the temperature's creeping because the motors are having to work a little bit harder. We are quite scenic around here. Just moving at a snail's pace. Obviously, probably what I should have maybe done is not taken this job, but you know, it was a very well-paying job. I couldn't really refuse it. Just want to check on that one. We've got a reasonable amount of time. Right, so if I have a look here on the map, we are coming off, so we want to be going to the left here. And we just want to check our switch is set correctly. By my calculation, that should be this one. So yeah, thank you for coming back, if you are coming back. I hope you're all well. Hope you've enjoyed the series so far. I know it's been a little bit of a break between episodes. I have been unwell. If you're part of the Discord, you'll know that because I put in a message. Yeah, that's fine. So we're going to go off to the left here, which is a 60 km/h speed limit, which is absolutely fine. But we are still on a pretty severe gradient of plus 1.8. That's what those signs mean underneath. So you'll probably see the temps start creeping back up now. And then we are going to start creeping around this corner. Got no junctions really for a little bit. Yeah, the plan going forward is going to be 2 episodes of this a week. So we've got a 50, and I think this one means it's going to level off, so we should be able to pick up a little bit of speed. Yeah, this might have been a bit stupid. I might have just got a bit sort of carried away with the value of the job, pretty much. But you know, we're doing it slowly but surely. We're doing it. We come out of the tunnel. Yeah, you can see we're sort of leveling off a bit here, which makes life somewhat easier. Let's just put that away. Let's get a little check on our... In here, we're doing all right. Picking up to 40. Like I said earlier, this does get considerably easier when... probably afford to coast a little bit now. We're at 60 limit, so that's absolutely fine. Coast along at about 37-ish. Yeah, it'll get considerably easier once we've got the MU license, because we won't have to keep hopping back and forth, back and forth. Let's get some outside. You can see we're pretty long. What are we? 369. 369. It's about 13 cars long. Just a quick check on the map. Yeah, we're about halfway to our first drop, which is not that bad to go in, really, considering all things considered. We'll start giving a little bit of gas now because we're starting to lose a bit of speed. Fuel wise, we're okay. About 3/4 of a tank. A bit more on this one. Yeah, like I said, it's probably a little bit unconventional, but what we're going to do is I'm going to come around here, and there's a junction here, and we're going to have to come off around here, run parallel to this track, because I think this is probably going to be like a big bridge or something. We'll come into Goods Factory. The Goods Factory, you can go all the way around, but we're going to go in, we'll drop, burst back, and then go back up here off to iron ore mine. have a little look down in the valley. And there we go. That's what's going to scupper us. The rain. So, yeah, that is going to really put us in a bad situation, actually, because when you look at the book here, this is the catalogue. These are the DE2s in a rain. 2% gradient, 250 tons is widely regarded that that's not very accurate. We're probably, with the locos, we're probably about 450. So hopefully this rain is going to pass off soon. Otherwise we may well get stuck. We're making reasonable progress. So we've got another junction coming up here. I assume that 0.5 means half a kilometre away. Which is probably about right. And then we want to be... So that is... It's harbours here, so we came out, went round, so that is going off to the left to go round. So if we've got that right when we get there, that should be going off to the left. And the weather is changing on us. Can hear the rain. So we just want to keep our eye out for the switch when we get there, which I think is possibly that one. Or is it this one? So I'm just going to come to a quick stop here because I'm not 100% sure. Yeah, so yeah, throw myself off there. We got to get going again. Need to chuck a little bit of sand down just to get some traction. So I was saying left, I think I was thinking ahead. Actually needed to go right. Then the next junction is left. It's alright, we're okay. Probably give it a bit from this one as well. I mean, if you play this and you've done this before where you've run the two locos but not with the MU license, do I generally want to be running them at the same throttle position? I guess so, because that's what would happen. That's what would happen with the MU cable attached. So we are a plus 0.7 here. And we want to be going off to the next on the left on the next junction, so that's to the right and that's to the left, and then that will take us round into the goods factory. We are running up to an hour on the episode. It's always a tricky one with the episodes. Like, I never intend to create episodes that are long, but I like to get something done and accomplished. Probably a good 15 or so minutes, maybe more, from the goods factory. And that is quite an exceptionally long episode. We need to get some intermittent wipers on. Missed that then. We're on a 50 speed limit, but that's fine. We're nowhere near that. Temps all looking nice. Got a 30 limit coming up, which we are well under. 30 limit is usually an indicator of a pretty sharp corner. That's fine, we're only going 15, so it should be good. We afford another notch of throttle. So our junction 0.4 away. Hopefully this rain won't hang around for too long. What I should have probably done is check the weather forecast in the station office before we set out, but didn't think of that at the time. As we are going on quite a sharp corner now, we'll just manage it with the one loco. It's quite a sight to behold. Obviously when we get into the later locomotives, the DH4 and the DE6, we'll have the DE6 slug, I think it's called as well. Loads like this will just become our like bread and butter essentially. We won't have to worry because it'll mash through these no problem. Like I said, what I had in mind for the episode was more of a demonstration of what you can do. We just want to watch our speed a little bit here because we're just going on a minus 1.2 gradient, so we're going to start picking up speed relatively quickly. We're on a 40 limit, so we just might want to apply some braking when it comes to it. But yeah, it was pretty much going to be show you how you can maximize a job's benefit by doing by loading, delivering and shunting it both ends. And out of one job you can grab pretty good pay altogether. A quick look on the map. There's general sweeping. So there is going to be a slight issue with this. So we may end up having to change course depending on how we get on with this if the rain persists. Obviously, once we get into the goods factory, we can check the weather in the station office there when we're cashing in the job. But this is going to be all, I think I said it was negative 1.2 gradient, and there's going to be the reverse coming back up. It's going to be a plus 1.2 reversing all the way. So it might be quite interesting. So we may have to think about changing course on the way out and just going out the other end of the goods factory and going a slightly longer way. But we'll see. I mean, the job pays good, even if we end up losing out on the time bonus. If we get the time bonus as well, we're going to be looking at probably the better part of £75,000 dollars. Which is pretty damn good going for like the third job out. I mean, don't get me wrong, I feel like I've... So we won't worry about that too much. That was just the wheel slips because I was putting a bit of braking on. A bit concerned we were going too fast. Yeah, I feel like we've worked pretty damn hard to get it because it's been a slog. But we will do it. Right, so we probably need to start thinking about our things coming into... So we're going into D6I. We are going to goods factory. No, that's machine factory, goods factory. So we're coming into... Turn that sander off a minute. Right, let's, we're going to have to back up a little bit, I think. Right, let's have a little look. So we want D6I. That's service. D6I is here. We can just run all the way through that as well. So yeah, we want to be backing up here really annoyingly. Yeah, basically that just came up on me a bit quicker than I expected. So we just want to back up a little bit so we can activate our switches. We'll drop the a little bit of sand on. Just having a little wee bit of trouble with so I wants to go in there. That one's right. So it wants to go down there. We've got a switch here which we want to switch once we've gone past it. Probably want to turn the engine of this one off now. that one to be going to the left, and then we should be okay. That should see us nicely to D6I. Then what we'll have to do is we'll have to check how long this weather's going to be lasting for, because if it's going to be in for a while, I don't know how well we're going to be able to reverse up that hill, to be honest. She comes. We've never been up here, so I don't even know where the station office is. Oh, hello. DH4. And another... Oh, actually, that might work out alright for us. I think I'm going to grab that just to give us the extra boost. Now that is going to be interesting, doing 3 locos. That is interesting. We could probably apply a little bit of brake now. Let's chuck the handbrake on quick. We are in, so we can close these. Let me just have a look. 8. So 383 is the last one. And we want to... is that the station office there? Yeah, so we've got the D2 there, and the DH4, which we can get the license for at some point. There it is. So when you're looking for the station houses, you're always looking for this beacon on top. So it's the validator, and we want to validate number 8. Completed 39 minutes out of 83 minutes. So we get 11,000 for that. Happy days. Take our money. Now what will have happened here is that one there, look, it's generated a shunting job to unload and store those trailers. But we need to keep that, so we can just bin that there. We're not going to do that. We are going to... What we're actually going to do is end the episode right here. We're going to turn this off for now. Turn this one off as well. Somewhat unbelievably, next episode we're going to hook this DE2 up to this consist, and we're going to run 3 DE2s given this weather. What we actually will do, we are definitely going to end the episode, but while we're here, we can just check the weather. Time-wise, we are coming up on 6 p.m. and the rain is looking to persist pretty much all the way until about midnight. So we will benefit from that DE2, but we'll do that in the next episode. Until next time, guys, I hope you've enjoyed. I do appreciate you watching. This was much longer than I anticipated, but we will pick this up when we are going to get paid in the next episode. If you've enjoyed it, hit the like button, subscribe if you're not already, leave me thoughts, feedback, comments, tips, tricks, everything down below, and we'll look forward to catching up with you in the next episode. Take care.